Okay, this is the nitrous plumbing. I'm going to show it on the bench first before I show it on the bike. Now first off, we have our nitrous bottle, which has got all the pressures all good. That's turned on at the moment. And I'll get rid of that sticker and I'll put on my nitrous sticker so it looks professional. The hose comes out and around and goes into this solenoid. This solenoid is just powered, one to earth and one goes through to this switch, which is just a standard motorcycle kill switch. That'll be my nitrous button. So back, goes in the solenoid. Solenoid is just an on-off switch. It holds the pressure there until I push the button. Then it releases the pressure and it goes to this thing. Now this thing is my temporary cover, and I'll show it again later, that replaces where the blower would normally go to make it look sort of professional. And it was just blue like this, just part of a light thing, and I cut it off. Painted it up and put my Gucci work on there, and it's just a switch. It's just a fuel switch. One is in, one goes, just loops around and goes to this, which is my purge valve, and the other one goes into the carburetor, and we know how that works because we've done it before. Now the carburetor is set up, dipped in the water, no sliding there, so we'll see it shoot out when it works. Coming back to here again, this is in the neutral position. If I push the button now, because the solenoid's stopping it, nothing happened. There you hear the solenoid, but because this valve is turned off, it's not going anywhere. So now, ooh, that's going to be this one here. I just let the pressure in there. Ready? Alright, that's my purge button. You know when you sit at the lights, a couple of shots. And the other way, which way is it? This way, hang on. That, by the way, the switch here is just a kill switch. That when I pulled one of the gauges apart, I'm just using the kill switch. Now, that one now will run to here, blow through, suck from there. So let's see if it works. If we can, oh, the sun's on it, but might not see spray. Yep. Okay, so it works. Now I'll put it on the bike and show you what it looks like on the bike. Just as a point of reference, bikes that I like to get intimate with, I like to hang so that I can have it more or less eye height, and that way you get intimate with it. So I'm going to show you the plumbing for the nitrous, but I've just got the cowling off for now, but there's one little point I want to show you. And I plan to get some more of that stuff there. So that'll run to cover the clear tube, because there'll be a milk crate there, and the nitrous bottle will be in the milk crate. I want to completely cover that tube with that stuff until it gets to here, and I'll put the cowling on in a second and show you. But this side there's not much, just the hose will run on this side and disappear into there. So I'll just put the cowling on now and we'll come back to it. As I said, there's not much that happens on this side, and so that comes out of there. It'll just run underneath the tank. Just give a bit more light on there. That runs under the tank and up to the back of there. But that'll be black looking like that stuff, so it's not so noticeable. Now moving around, I'll explain the plumbing work. Now as I said, this is the next phase of the bike, the hanging stage. So I have my on-off switch here. The line, the NOS comes, it comes underneath the cowling up into the solenoid. Solenoid has just that power switch I'll run to it, which will be on and off. And then it runs through the solenoid around into this switch, which is actually the Honda kill switch, the top of the Honda kill switch, but that's just a petrol switch. So from there, depending which one it is, it'll be the blow-off valve, which is there, and that's just sitting there to do its thing. And the other one, when it's the carburetor, runs from the switch down through underneath here. That's like that bit I've oiled it. You know, these things should be oiled along here and in. Now I will do something better with this support. It sort of sits there on its own because it's sort of stiff material, but I'll do something better, and that's that cover I've put on there so that it looks a bit more, less chance, you know, you're going to hook someone's knee or something. So that's basically the look. And as usual, it's getting very complicated to take on and off, and the wires and the plumbing is all getting kind of intricate now. But anyway, that's what we do it for. Remember, this is all temporary. When the blower comes in here, I have to rearrange everything. It'll all be different again. But that'll be my running setup. A couple of little problems I have, and I like cable ties, and I like interesting ways to fix problems with cable ties. Now, I've got two hoses, two carburetor, one float bowl, one top one side vent one. And by the way, I'm going to go with the metal one for now because I can access the jets easily there. And there's a screw on the bottom. I can just unscrew and change main jets very quickly. I've got the two vent hoses coming off, and I'm trying to find somewhere to hold them there. I don't want to poke them through the middle because if it's dribbling, I don't want it to go on the back wheel. So what I've done is I can't find any way to cable tie. I can cable tie it there, but not down here. That's a bit far away. They run a bit short. So what I've come up with is, and I'll show you what I've come up with. I've got a bit of that cable heat shrink stuff that you use to shrink cables down. So I'm just going to, yep, it's warm. Heat that up, and that'll shrink to its maximum shrinking amount. Okay, while that's still warm, I'll push, there's the two hoses, I'll push that on there like that. Come on, out you come. And that'll, make I'll be able to use that, poke them in and out of there, trim that off when I want, and that'll hold them nicely in place. Now the other thing I've done is, you know, I said I needed something to just to support this. Let's get some focus on that. There we go. It needed something just to support this. Well, what I've done is can you see? Yep. I've got a long cable tie and just put an end off another one on there, so they just, you know, snipped off the length of it. And then up here, I've got it going through another cable tie, but not on the zippy part, because it's the smooth part there, so that's around that bolt. So now I just have to adjust that up to the amount I want. And that's enough tension on there. Looks nice and smooth. Just a little more. There you go. Snip that off. That holds itself in place, and that doesn't look so intrusive. Like it doesn't look like it's, you know, anything particularly. Doesn't look like wire. Doesn't say steel to the mind, you know. So it's soft, it's plastic, it's black, it disappears. So that's just, I like cable ties. And one last thing before I wrap up this video, and that's paint on my hands, sorry about that. If you're wondering what these connections are that I'm using on the bike, on the solenoid, and on the gas bottle, I didn't know about them either, but they're just gas fitting. You just screw them in. Now that end there, you just poke, oops, I can't see, but there we go. Just poke it in, and that clips it in. If you want to take it out, you just push on it, and that takes it out. It's got little teeth in there. It's got little teeth in there and an O-ring, so the little teeth lock onto it, and just push it back in again, and that releases it. Very nifty. Works great for something like this.